I got your back. I always got your back when you're in that relationship, right? That's what makes it such a great relationship. So why are you abandoning your lady?
I think I'm going to need your support on this one because I felt horrible after I did this, but I feel like I did what needed to be done. So when I'm traveling, my travel experiences always seem to go one way or the other. They either are like perfect, absolutely smooth, no issues whatsoever, or anything that can go wrong goes wrong.
I've always had this theory when it comes to traveling that generally, for me, the first leg of your trip is going to tell you how the rest of the trip is going to go. If your first leg is easy, the rest of the trip is easy. Something goes wrong on that first leg, better watch out.
See, I have a difference of opinion. Because if something goes wrong, then I feel like we got it out of the way. The rest is going to be smooth sailing.
I feel the exact same way. I feel like all of my best trips have had like a slow, weird start. But then by the end, we're like, look at how far we've come.
So maybe I need to adjust my mindset because I typically have Bert's mindset. And that's exactly how it went on this trip. Because going to Ecuador, I had a direct flight. It was perfect. Coming back, we couldn't do that. So I had to have 2 flights, which anytime I have to take more than 1 flight, I feel like there's more room for error. And the first flight out the gate was an issue because it got delayed. And I didn't have any room for error in catching that second flight. So we ended up having to change that flight to a different flight. And it was already an inconvenience. So I get on that flight initially. Now the trip is already pushed back. We're already later than we want to be. I was trying to get back like Sunday early evening. But now I'm already at the point of getting back a little later than I wanted to get back. And on that first flight, I knew, I was like, this is the kind of trip it's going to be because as soon as I walk on the plane, someone is in my seat. So I have to do like the double check at the ticket to see if I'm wrong. Mind you, nobody on this plane at this point speaks English, so I'm already down bad. And I realized that, okay, well, my ticket is right. You know, I can't be me. And then I'm expecting the person to like, oh, you know, I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was an accident. No, they looked at me like, yeah, I want to sit here. It was like one of those. And I'm like, okay, I respect that you want to sit there, but that's not your seat. And then like they have, it was odd because it's a middle seat because that's the only thing that they had to offer me. And then I'm thinking like, why would you want the middle? Like what was your other seat? And it was a middle across the way. And I have no idea because they couldn't speak English. So I didn't get it, right? Okay. I didn't understand but when I looked, I'm like, well, the other one, it was like going to be 3 guys. And then this one, it was 1 guy, 1 lady. I need to be in the middle of the 1 guy, 1 lady, obviously, right? So that's the whole thing. Finally, the flight attendant, she comes, she helps out. I get the seat. Now, I thought to make matters worse, when you sit in the middle, especially as a person I'm taller, I'm a little big, right? That like the armrest is kind of designated to the person in the middle.
Absolutely.
Do we all agree on that? Like yes. I thought that was the guy next to me. He didn't get the memo. So he's like elbow wrestling with me aggressively the entire flight. He has
another one.
That's what I don't understand. But he's getting so mad that he's purposely like just bumping my elbow, pushing me out of the way. And I'm like, the guy's probably 6 inches shorter than me, fighting me with my legs. It's a rough flight, to say the least, right?
Punch him in the face?
I thought about it, but the whole thing is I want to be able to keep flying, right? So there's that thing, right? So I get off this flight, and then now we finally make it to the next flight. We were separated in this flight, so that's already rough when you got to separate from your partner. But now we're rushing through the airport to try to catch the next flight. We zoom through the airport, finally get to this flight. This flight, I think at the time, was supposed to take off at 4:45, if I remember correctly. It gets delayed. Now it's at 5:45. Gets delayed again. It's at 6:45. Gets delayed again. At that point, I'm not going to make it back till midnight. So we have to now try to change our flight once again. So we go to the flight, another flight that was leaving around 5:30-ish, and we get there. Now me and my lady are trying to change our reservation so that we can both get back. This is where the decision had to come into play. This particular flight, at the time that we are now boarding, because we have to fly standby because it's sold out. So I can't get a reconfirmed ticket. So they're like, they get to the end. We're on the list. We're 1 and 2. Now, technically, she's 1, right? Which I don't know why, because I'm the medallion member. She's not, but somehow she's 1 and I'm 2. And so this is the guy goes, well, we have 1 seat, right? And he calls her name. And so she's now making decision of, do I go? Do we go together? What do we do? Now, I have to work Monday morning. She does not. She's off. So if I wait with her, then I got 1 flight left to make it. And that flight is now not leaving until about 8 o'clock. So either I get on that flight and I don't get here till probably midnight, or God forbid we don't get on that flight at all. And now I'm stuck and have to stay in Miami for the night. So at that point, she looks at me and she's like, I'm willing to give you the seat if you just want to go ahead without me for work.
Okay.
And it also said that there's one person that wasn't there. So there's a possibility that we would both get on. But if you're going to take the seat, you have to take it now and hope that someone else will get on. Because if you don't, then it has to go to somebody else. We have to give this seat away. So I had a decision to make. And I can completely tell that her mouth was saying, go without me.
But the body
her was saying, you better not. And I was like, oh, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. So I said, let's be positive, right? Let's pray that I will take this seat and then that you will get on after me. And as soon as I sat down in that seat that they gave me, I saw that door close behind me. And I knew she wasn't going to make it on the flight.
Oh, dude.
And I felt so bad. And I'm texting her like, I feel bad. I thought you would make it on. Now I feel like I should have waited. And she's like, well, then you should have. I abandoned her, man. I felt horrible, but I felt like I did what I had to do.
Look, she did the right thing. She volunteered knowing that you had to work. You have to take her at face value. That
I'm in trouble, man.
She volunteered as tribute.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I think
that was a test and you failed.
I'd have failed right behind you, bro. Right behind you.
The Bert Show.